3 exercises to get you started lifting one of these. First is the deadlift. What you want to do is have the kettlebell right between your feet. And when you go to grab it down, she's going to go ahead and grab it down. Make sure your knees are right next to your elbows or your forearms. You don't want your knees in front of your elbows because that's going to put a lot of load into the knees. That won't feel good. And you definitely don't want it behind because then your back's going to suffer in the process. So you want to get right in the happy medium, knees next to forearms, shoulder blades back tight to the hip, and then you simply stand straight up. And when you come down, you simply push your hips back as you lower yourself all the way down. You want to try to avoid touching the floor. That way you get the most time under tension, and then you come right back up. And you want to do a few different sets. 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 is a really good number, or if you really want to go heavy, go up to 5. The second is a Romanian deadlift or an RDL. So this targets the hamstrings a little differently. This really stabilizes at the knee and it exercises right at the bottom of the hip. So simply what you want to do is grab the kettlebell, stand up with it, and the best way to think of it is bend the knees a little bit and push your hips back and chest forward at the same time. And don't go past 90 because then by that point you're starting to use your lumbar spine. That's not necessarily the target. So once you get there, hold there for a few seconds, drive right back up, right at the hips, straightening the entire leg. And then you simply go down again. Nice, slow, and control. Gets the max time under tension and the best force production you can get out of that. That's an RDL. The third is a kettlebell front squat. This one can get a little tricky, especially if you've already been having back pain. So if you've already been having back pain, probably don't do it. But this is a really good one to get the most you can out of your glutes. So what you want to do is grab the kettlebell and bring it up to your chest with your hands underneath the bevel, underneath the handle there. Yep. And what you're going to do is that you are going to have your feet shoulder width apart, keeping this up with the chest. And as you lower yourself down, push your hips back, chest forward, and knees out. So she's going to go down, chest out, knees apart, hold there. Lumbar still nice and neutral, and then drive right back up using your hips. By doing this, you're going to get the most glute force production you can get, especially with the weight in the front. She's going to go down, knees apart, and then drive right back up. That's a front squat. So if you ever press for time and you have a kettlebell, this is probably one of the most effective ways you can get the most bang for your buck and the most function out of your fitness.